so we can continue. So it's on a weekend, and I wanted us to do a review on this coming week, what we should be anticipating over the week, and want us to look into the charts and get to see what do we expect for the next week, right? So this is the card Chfjpy, right? And what I'm seeing here is we have these, holy shit, all right, so we have these high over here, that the liquidity above was engaged over here, right? You can see over here we had these liquidities above here. You can see it was cleared and the candles were closing inside the liquidity, right? To some extent, when we see these, we know that the market will retrace, right? When a candle, we can see this candle, it opened here, rallied, cleared the liquidity, closed inside the liquidity. Also, this other candle opened at the close of the other candle, then closed below the open, so it was a down close candle. So to some extent, when you see these liquidity being grabbed and bodies closing inside liquidity, you can use that as a conference number one, but you have to get more other confirmations for you to be for you to have that A plus setup, right? So you can see how the liquidities, the bodies were doing. They cleared liquidity and they closed inside from the monthly time frame, and we had this rally lower. Then this month we've seen the market trace higher. Maybe this is the manipulation phase, and because we have 24 days to go for this month, we can see the market has created an immediate rebalance. Over here we don't have any imbalance or anything to draw market to, because we have an immediate rebalance. Liquidity has been engaged. So we can see with this last week candle, this so far where the market is, because for now we ain't trading because it's a weekend. We've seen retrace higher, created an immediate rebalance with this other candle, meaning we have no imbalance. Also, we have tapped into these blue order block, right? This order block, we've tapped into it. So over here the draw will be our monthly time frame. Let's drop to the lower time frames and get to see if we have the market maker sell model to give us the order flow of price, right? So dropping to the weekly time frame, as you can spot my weekly fair value gap, of my monthly fair value gap over here. Also, it's paired with another weekly fair value gap over here. So we have liquidities resting below these, and we have equal lows, relatively equal lows. So I'll draw that. So we have these liquidities below over here. That will be our first draw on liquidity. Then we'll expect market to retrace lower to these discount monthly fair value gap. So I'll label that as a sell equal lows, sell side liquidity with a red. It should be below. Yeah, be good, and that one red. Yeah, so the equal lows will be the draw on liquidity first before that drop lower. So over here I wanted us to see whether we can see that market maker sell model. And what you can see is also we had liquidity above this high, and we can see it was engaged over here, and the body is respecting the not respecting closing inside liquidity. These candles were running higher, right? And clear liquidity, we can see how they were closing inside this liquidity. Then we had this drop lower, closed below the consequent encroachment of this week, this long week, but at the other next week rallied higher, never cleared this high. So we can see over here the market was making lower highs as well as lower lows. This lower low, this lower high that didn't break this, again a lower low. So then we had this retracement higher, and to which level did this retracement last week's displacement rally to? It rallied to these order blocks over here, right? You can see it rallied higher, tapped this order block, these up close candle. So if we get to draw a line over there, this was on tick, right? It was tapped into it now, and then we can see how it did lose or it did sell, but we'll see that in the lower time frame. So to clear this, we can see a clear for me, I can see a market maker sell model whereby this liquidity was grabbed with this movement higher. Then we had a low form that over here we had a market structure shift, because a candle has closed, this candle closed below these lows or this low. So to me this is a market structure shift, and the highs are being respected by not being taken out. This high is intact, this high is intact, a market structure shift. Then we had this retracement that tapped into this order block, then a sell off. So for the next week, what I'm anticipating is I want to see, for me, I'll be bearish with this order flow over here. I will be bearish with my targets being these lows and also these long-term monthly fair value gap. But dropping to the daily, let's see how the market is playing out on the daily. So over here we can see equal lows over here that were taken. We had a retracement, this liquidity was engaged over here, a retracement lower to clear this sell side liquidity, retracement higher. You can see market sell model being in play, whereby this high isn't violated by this high and liquidity is being cleared, right? Then over here the market had retraced higher to fill this fair value gap. You can see a small fair value gap there, tapped into the liquidity, the previous liquidity, using it as resistance, and that supported price lower. And after market had retraced lower, it again cleared this liquidity, then retraced higher to where it came and tapped into this daily order block, then rallied lower. We can see how the bullish candles were supporting price lower, right? This up close candle, price tapped into it, rallied lower. This other up close candle, price tapped into it, then it was supported lower, sharply rallied lower, creating a market structure shift, creating also a fair value gap here. Price rallied into this fair value gap, then again rallied lower, again rallied into this fair value gap, then rallied lower. So over here we have a consolidation. Then on this week that ended, we had these higher retracements, all right? But the market cleared these liquidities and tabbed. We have this small order block. I want to see if the market was respecting it by candle closing. Yeah, that's the order block, and I'll change it to gray. So that's the daily order block, and we can see how the market was, the candles were closing not above but slightly above the consequent encroachment. Then we had these other candle, these closed above, these other candle opened above the consequent, the main threshold of this order block, rallied lower, closed below the order block and also below the main threshold of these order blocks. So, and this week had come to clear these liquidities above here, and we can see the bodies were respecting also this order block here, this a large up close candle, clear liquidity and closed below the low of this large bull candle, right? So dropping to the 4-hour time frame to see that sharp movement, and over here what we can see is the market, we had a fair value gap over here, this candles low as well as that candles high. Yeah, I guess you can see now. To me, these are 4-hour inversion fair value gap, because it should now support prices lower. So to those who have not seen these candles low, and also these candles high, we have an imbalance there, that when the market rallied higher to clear these liquidities above, it tapped into it. Then we can see the reaction of that weekly that 4-hour inversion fair value gap. So I also label these as the daily order block, so that I'll not be confused for the week. So daily order block. Yeah, we can see how the market has already closed below the for the daily order block main threshold, and for me, and also closed below these order block, this 4-hour order block. So to me, the order flow is bearish for this coming week, but I want to see how Monday will react, and then I will also dive in on maybe Tuesday. But if I see a clear setup on Monday, then I'll jump in, and I want to see whether the market had closed below these weeks consequent encroachment. So if it closed below, then I'm bearish for sure. So over there, and here you can see it's closed below the consequent encroachment. So for me, for these upcoming weeks, until I see the liquidities have been, this liquidity, I'll be bearish, right? I will be bearish. This the general, my general draw on liquidity, but these other lows you can see here, relatively equal lows, are also another clear opportunity for us to engage during this week, right? So these are the draws on liquidity, these lows, this low, and also this low, as well as the general draw on liquidity, that is the monthly fair value gap. So for me, this week I'm bearish for this Chfjpy, and yeah, let's see what the market will do afterwards, right? So yeah, for Chfjpy, I'm done. I'm bearish, so I'll delete that. So what I'm expecting is maybe market retrace into this daily order block, then a rally lower. Yeah, so that's what I'm expecting, and hopefully we'll be around to see what the market will be doing, because above here everything is balanced. We have no inversion value gap over here, previous imbalance nor here, but we have immediate rebalance over here. So for me it is a signal that I'm expecting a drop lower. So that is it for Chfjpy. I don't know whether I should do another maybe Eurjpy on this video, but let me do them separately so that I may grasp a bottle of water. And yeah, that's my analysis, and see you in a few minutes in the other two currency pairs that I'll be trading, the Eurjpy and also the Swiss franc JPY. So bye bye for now, and see you later.